Well, let's talk about MantraDAO. So Mantra is the big reckoning that we're going to be discussing here. And stay tuned for the big takeaway because it's important. But let's take a look here. Insight on-chain RWAs are gaining traction as BlackRock and JP Morgan push tokenization. Analysts predict TVL could hit 50 billion in 2025, a major shift in crypto. So this reminds me of the days when they were talking about the metaverse hitting 1 trillion. We've seen like 25 or 16 trillion or something like that.
Right.
Somewhere in the 2030s timeframe. We were both asking ourselves, like, how are actually we're going to get to the metaverse generating trillions in like volume and revenue and all this shit?
Yeah, but remember we created those assumptions around a Web3 metaverse, right?
True.
They're making these analyses based on like existing metrics from the Web2 metaverse space.
But even then,
it essentially just means more kids are going to be birthed and they're going to get tablets and they're going to start playing Roblox and spending Robux. It's really it.
Trillions of volume. To me that sounds kind of crazy. That's why we predicted that it was going to be more on the Web3 side, where you own like digital land and you create businesses and you start creating an economy in the digital realm, and that's how you can perceive a multi-trillion-dollar.
A much bigger scope of like economic flow with the Web3 components. I agree.
So why are we talking about the metaverse? Is this real world assets, right? Well, they made the same predictions of the metaverse, multi-trillion. We're making predictions here, 50 billion in TVL. But then you look at this tweet here. It says, I've never seen anything like this before. And here's MantraDAO going down 90% overnight.
Yeah, this happened yesterday, I think, and it's continuing to decline, right?
Yeah.
If we could look at the chart, I think it just keeps going down, right? So, I mean, this is one of the darling projects in the real world asset sector, right? So,
yeah,
up until yesterday.
yeah.